Joining us now is Riley Gates, ace pitcher from the BYU Batcat staff. Riley, welcome to Studio
What's up, Riley?
B.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for letting me be here.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
First time, right?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, man.
We wish that we were celebrating another BYU victory over the Utes. That was not the case because of the rain. However, you did get them earlier this year. What was it like last night being told that, okay, you're not going to be able to play baseball?
You know, it was pretty frustrating because on the way up to the field, I was talking to Bo Burrup, one of the other pitchers, and he was just like, man, I really want to play today. Hope we can play today. And then, so, getting that built up, and then we finally get the game started. Jordan goes out, and then all of a sudden the umpires come and like, no. And so we're thinking, you just got to think in the present, like, okay, in 30 minutes we're going to play. 30 minutes we're going to play. And then Coach Little had met up with Coach Kennenberg, Utah's coach, and they started talking. And then he comes back out to the dugout, and he's like, all right, guys, get ready in 2 minutes. And we just look at each other and laugh because we knew we weren't going to play. So we were pretty bummed, but you know what? It might be good for the pitcher's arms and some of the players that are beat up for the San Diego series.
Yeah, and that's a good series, an important one. We'll talk about that coming up in a minute. We heard you guys were writing notes on a baseball and throwing them between dugouts. What happened there?
I'm not really sure what was going on there. I did catch the last part, and all I saw was Rhett Parkinson with a baseball that said "to be determined" on it and threw it back. And so that's what I saw. Other than that, I don't know what was being said.
Well, yeah, with Utah, I'd be interested because there could be some trash talk even on the baseball, right?
There could be, but I don't know.
The game's to be determined. I want to ask you about another weird thing that happened recently within the BYU baseball team, and that was Brian Sue's broken aluminum bat. Like, he takes a swing, and that thing just breaks right in half. I've never seen a metal bat break like that. Did you get a good look at that thing?
I didn't see it till the video on your guys' Sports Nation, and you took that clip. I saw that, and I was like, wow. I've never seen that before.
You down
either.
in the bullpen warming up or something?
Yeah, that's probably what I was doing.
Okay.
I on SportsCenter's top 10, a guy broke his aluminum bat
in college baseball, and I'm like, hey, where's ours? BYU did it first.
Do we not hashtag SC top 10?
I don't know.
Who didn't hashtag SC top 10?
We need to find that person.
Exactly. Let's talk about the dynamic in your family because your cousin is Hunter Dimmick, right? Who is the defensive end for Utah. He's hoping to be drafted or at least signed next week. What's it like with BYU and Utah in the fam?
You know what? It's just good support. Obviously, BYU's the best, but you got to support your cousin individually. You always want BYU to win the football games, but you support your cousin.
That's a good approach. You have a number of interesting ties to what's going on in your family. In fact, your sister Kennedy, and we send a shout out to her and to your family. She was diagnosed with cancer about a year ago. You and some teammates wear orange bracelets and put her initials on hats. How has Kennedy's story been an inspiration and a boost to you and this BYU baseball team?
You know what? For me personally, if I could say the thing I've learned most from this is like being grateful for a body, to be able to play the game I love and to enjoy it. Sometimes I get beat up or sometimes our teammates get beat up, but you just look at me like, at least I can do this. At least I can play. And, she'll eventually start getting back into sports and stuff. Right now she's getting better with walking, and she's doing a little bit of training things that people have given her so she can gain that. But it's just a thing that I'm just grateful for your body and grateful to be here at BYU to be able to play for such a good program and where we're at right now, and we're doing pretty good.
Absolutely. You were recruited by a lot of good teams, Arizona, LSU, San Diego, Stanford, to name a few. So what led you to BYU?
Going on a mission. I know once I came, I went on a few other official visits, but after I came here, it was just right. It felt right going to the football games and seeing the players that were going to be on the team when I got back from my mission, and just seeing how the coaches were. They were honest, and I trusted in them, and everything just fell into place, and it felt comfortable coming back.
On Saturday, and you've had several of these moments in your BYU career, but this was the most recent. You came into the game with the bases loaded and no outs in the bottom of the eighth against Pepperdine. You struck out 2 and then got out of the inning on a ground ball. Why does that situation not freak you out? Because it does for a lot of fans and a lot of people, but in that you're like, yeah, okay, we'll be okay.
As soon as I go in, I really just focus on my cues, the things that I need to focus on to prepare for that outing. Baseball is the same game, whether there's guys on base or not, to me. And you just got to take the same approach. It's 60 feet, 6 inches. When guys are bases loaded, it's not 70 feet. It's still 60 feet, 6 inches. So you just got to go back out, keep the same mindset, and have some fun.
How do you not let the pressure get to you in that moment? Because, I mean, at the time it's 9-4, but the bases are juiced. The game could swing very differently on one pitch, right?
Yeah. Honestly, the thing I think of is my teammates. Just playing for my teammates, and I know they have my back. I know I got Daniel Schneeman, Chandler Chauncey, Colton Shaver, Brian Sue,
And his broken bats.
So many people, yeah, and his broken bats, and Nate Favero, and plenty of other guys behind me and especially Bronson Larson takes a lot of credit. And those guys are just there, and we're here as a team, and we want to win. And that's the thing that's the most confidential thing that you can have as a pitcher, having those guys behind you and knowing that they expect you to do those things.
Riley Gates, left-handed ace for the BYU Batcats, with us in Studio B, making his Studio B debut, as a matter of fact. Do you have a preferred situation to enter the game? Like, if you could set up a scenario, what would it be?
You know, I like bases loaded, but
You like bases loaded? Wow.
honestly, I just like pitching. Whenever any situation, I'll go in. Just give me the ball. I love it.
What does Coach Littlewood say to you in a moment like that? Like, what did he say to you? What did Jeremy Davis say to you, or
Thomas
say to you? Yeah, as you went out to the mound.
So I went out to the mound, and Coach Littlewood, the first thing he says is, "Hey, just take a deep breath. You know, it's okay if we give up a couple runs right here. We just need to get out of this jam." And
a couple runs, all right.
but just coming out of the inning with hopefully no runs, and then it worked out. So
You're like, Coach, I'm going to strike out the next two, and then I'm going to induce a ground ball. Okay? That's the plan. We're going to do it. Okay?
that's right.
And that's what you did. You've given up 1 earned run, and you have 10 strikeouts the last 10 innings you've pitched. What's leading you to that success on the mound?
Like I was talking about earlier, just focusing on those specific cues I have when I get on the mound to keep me calm and focused. And it's been kind of a secret for me to help me perform better. And
It's not a secret anymore.
yeah, it's not a secret anymore, but it's just things that I've just really focused on, short and simple things to help me stay in check and focus on other things rather than focus on the stress and pressure of the game.
I love how Coach Littlewood explains things and the words he uses to describe what his players do. Like, he said that you have electric stuff. What is the most electric pitch that you have?
I don't know. I would probably say my curveball. But it's up to you guys when you're watching the games, but I'd say my curveball. It's 12-6 and it moves a little bit. But yeah.
I'll take your word for it,
12
Riley.
to 6 is a lot of movement.
Woo!
Yeah. What other pitches do you throw?
So I throw a changeup and then just a fastball.
Where does your fastball sit?
Just around high 80s, low 90s.
Awesome. What's it like being, everyone warms up. You're going to be in the bullpen if needed, right? So how do you stay mentally in the game, especially in a game like yesterday? You don't even know if you're going to play. If you do play, it's probably later in the game. You don't know what the situation's going to be. That's interesting.
Honestly, you just got to be calm and expect to go in the game, but just be loose. Just have a calm mindset towards it, and just knowing that once your name gets called, that's when you kind of are checked into what you're assigned to do, because you're thinking about the game as it's going on in those certain situations. If this guy's up, what I need to throw him, and all these other types of scenarios. But when your name gets called in the warm up in the bullpen, that's where it's kind of you lock in, because you need to be a little bit relaxed, because that helps with everything else that comes in with like stress and everything in the situations.
Who's the dude that's the most chill that helps you stay loose on the team?
I would say the whole bullpen. They're all funny. They always crack jokes back there. But I would have to say either Keaton Senatiempo or Kendall Moats.
Okay.
Those guys are hilarious.
Dinner time and Kendall Moats.
Dinner time.
Very good. Riley Gates with us. The objective this weekend is to do something that BYU baseball has never done, and that's win a West Coast Conference game in San Diego. They're in first place. They're 12-3, I think. BYU a few games back at 9-3. What's the mindset that you take into San Diego, a nationally ranked team this weekend?
Win the first game. It's huge. Obviously we'd love to sweep them. That's our mindset. We're here to play baseball, and I'd love to get that first win and go on from the rest of the series. But right now, just focusing on that first win.
Just get one. Get one.
Yeah.
This never happened.
They're
Start with one.
super good, but the good news is Chris Bryant plays for the Chicago Cubs now. That's the greatest news ever.
He was impossible to get out.
Oh, my gosh.
Not just for BYU,
for everybody. Well,
everybody.
ask the entire NL and the Cleveland Indians. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Riley, would you like some BYU Sports Nation karma?
It depends if it's good or bad.
It's fantastic.
Traditionally, really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
One of the best investments you can make.
With that said, we deliver you the BYU Sports Nation karma and keep up with the tradition that we have in Studio B, and that is all of our in-studio guests sign our stretch white flag. So if you don't mind, please give us your autograph.
But you have to sign it with your other hand. No, I'm just kidding.
I do write with my right hand.
Oh, you write with your right hand.
Rose
He's a lefty
left,
pitcher.
right, right.
Okay.
You want me to sign it right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Riley Gates in Studio B. Up next on BYU Sports